That was a bit out of left field.
Are you serious?
Welcome everyone to Was It Good? My name is Bob, and last night I got to check out the new film Conclave. This is a film that's based on a book of the same name that came out back in 2016 and was written by Robert Harris. Now, I've always been told not to talk about certain things.
Religion, politics.
But this movie has plenty of both, so we're going to go ahead and talk about it because I do think that it's going to be a controversial one. Now, before I get into the review, I do want to let you know there are a lot of twists with this, so I'm going to try to keep this spoiler free. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, you don't need to worry about any spoilers. Now, if you have seen it, I'd like to know what you thought. Why don't you go ahead and share your comments in the comment section below? Let me know. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you think it was controversial? What did you think of the ending? I'd really like to know what you thought. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to it. After the death of the Pope, Cardinal Lawrence is tasked with one of the world's most secretive and ancient events, participating in the selection of a new Holy Father. Surrounded by the powerful religious leaders in the halls of the Vatican, he soon uncovers a trail of deep secrets that could shake the very foundation of the Catholic Church. Now, going into this, I knew absolutely nothing about the book. In fact, I had never even heard of it. I only saw a trailer for this movie a couple of days ago, but it seemed kind of interesting to me, so I decided to go ahead and give it a shot because I like this idea of politics and religion kind of coming together to select the new pope. So it seemed interesting to me. The question is, was it good? Let me start out by saying that if you enjoy politics, there's plenty of it in this one. There are several different candidates who have a realistic opportunity to become pope, and each one of them has their own political motivations. And as the film goes on, those motivations come to light. There's also several different scandals and back deals and information and stuff that comes out throughout the course of the film that I found it to be very intriguing, because this is not the type of movie that's going to have all these different action sequences and stuff blowing up and everything. This is very much a self-contained film that you've got this group of cardinals that are going to select the next pope, and you got all this politics and stuff going on around this particular selection process. And so I really enjoyed watching all of that play out and watching how the different scandals affected certain people. You also see different points of view. You got those that are liberal and traditional, and you got those that are in the middle. You got several cardinals that have different backgrounds and come from different locations. So I thought it was real interesting to see kind of all of these stories come together and all these different scandals and things kind of come to light. Again, I've said this in other reviews. I kind of have a guilty pleasure for politics, so I really enjoyed watching that process play out. Another thing I wanted to mention is I think this is a very well-made film. I like the way they capture certain shots. For example, there's this one particular shot where it's coming from behind one of the Cardinals, and this is towards the end of the film, and something specific happened to the Cardinal. I don't really want to get into it because of spoilers, but because of the way they capture the shot and the imagery that's used in that particular shot, you can really tell the way he feels and what happened with him. It's all captured in that one particular image. So I like the way that that was done. Also, the way the music is incorporated in the film, I think is very good because it's adds to the tension. And like I said, there's not a lot of action or things going on here, but because of all the political intrigue, I think the music adds to that tension and really enhances the film. So again, I think this is a very well-made movie. Finally, I want to highlight the performances by the cast. I think they all did a really good job with this movie. Ralph Fiennes headlines the cast as Cardinal Lawrence, and I think he was fantastic in this. You get other great performances by Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, Isabella Rossellini, and there are several others throughout the movie that all do a fantastic job. Each character brings their own political motivations, and they have their own scandals, and the way each character plays off of the information that comes out, I think they all do a really great job in their roles. And again, Ralph Fiennes kind of highlights this or headlines this, and I think he was fantastic. Overall, the performances were great. Now, while I do think the story does a good job of bringing in a lot of political intrigue and showing a lot of characters that are flawed, I don't really like the way it portrayed opposing viewpoints. It showed one particular side as being very positive and the other as being more extremist. And because the viewpoints aren't very balanced, I think that's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. Also, I thought it was a little too predictable who was going to be the Pope. I actually called that within the first 20 minutes. Now, there is an interesting journey to get there that has a lot of twists and turns, but it was pretty predictable who was going to end up being the Pope. Now, as far as those twists and turns go, that actually leads me to the ending. There is a huge twist as far as the ending goes.
I see dead people.
But unlike The Sixth Sense, which I think actually set up the twist very well, this felt like it came out of left field. I don't feel like it was set up at all. And because of that, it wasn't very believable. Also, I think it's going to be considered very controversial because people who have not read the book, like myself, when they see it, they're going to be like, what the heck was that? Now, my understanding is that it does follow the book very well. So I do want to give the film some credit there. But I do think this is going to be a controversial ending. And because there was no setup for it, or at least I didn't catch the setup for it, I do think that that's going to rub some people the wrong way as well. Bottom line, was it good? Story wise, I thought this was a very good movie, but I was disappointed in the ending because I didn't feel that it was set up very well. Also, I do think it's very controversial in the way that viewpoints are presented in this, as well as the ending itself. I think a lot of people are going to find that to be very controversial. And because of that, I don't see that this movie is going to have a whole lot of mass appeal. I enjoyed the story, but I do want to point out that it is a controversial one. Now, if you're still watching this long, I'd like to thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.